Right.
And you mentioned the dot-com bubble. So I'll start with that because there have been some references, even made by you, that the concerns of path to profitability for some of these IPOs, right? Back then, you talked about eyeballs and how many people were using these things, but you had to have a path to profitability. Are you nervous that what you're seeing now, because there was a great supply of IPOs up to this point, are you nervous or comparing now to then? And you talk about all the things that go into making a new company, but I actually read something that said that you basically were making this comparison. Would you say that it's not like that at this point? Not bubbly, not frothy, not the era of what we saw in the dot-com bubble?
Well, I think you saw that WeWorks was not able to come public, right?
Yeah.
It's right now. So when you see the consumer being strong, right, where wages are up and unemployment is down, it's hard to see a real recession happening, right? So I'm feeling quite comfortable.
Talk about the importance of having a presence. You have a designated market maker. You have Virtu on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Now, I've been on the stock exchange. You've been there yourself.
Yes.
We know
You've been
this
there
well,
a long time,
right?
longer than I
So,
was.
I mean, there were 40 specialists. Now there's, what, 4 or 5 designated market makers? Why there? Why now? What's the importance and relevance, or the lack thereof? Some of the other things, I would love to just get a quick thought. China, deal? No deal? Partial deal?
There will be a deal.
Crypto, and you know, we have Facebook Libra, we have Zuckerberg going at the end of the month to go testify once again. Value, FANG stocks, for example, which were running hot. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I always would pay attention to the PEG ratio, right? So what are you paying for earnings relative to growth?
Follow price to earnings relative to growth, and you look at corporate profits, you look at GDP. What are your projections for corporate profits and GDP? What would you like to see, and how close are we to your projections?
Well, I believe that it's hard to outrun 2%.
Would you say that we've had a great supply in the IPO market? I mean, we've had so many wonderful companies, great ideas. I mean, I love it, and this is what keeps the market alive. Is it done for 2019? Maybe we got to wait for the new money of 2020? Is particularly in light of the fact that we have a 2020 election, right? And this has been a very business-friendly administration, right? People love it. They have CEOs on all the time. They love it. But now you have a different ballgame, right? So you might see changes. Healthcare, just for one. I mean, what's the investment mantra now?
I think
make a good point, because it would take time to actually go in, and then you would need the Senate to actually agree.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had a change, and that's less likely.
Congress is very good at doing nothing.
What are you most excited about?
Well, in terms of the weather here, I'd like the rain to stop so I don't get rained on so much. But I'm excited about the fact we do have a pro-business climate. You have the spirit of entrepreneurship is alive in this country.